Good morning, friends. Today I am doing a topic for teachers specially and for students, but more important for teachers. The question that was asked is, as a teacher, what is to be done to make a difference to the maximum number of students? Now remember, I am taking a class of 50. Let's take that as an example. Now I want maximum number of children that I teach. I want to make a difference in their lives. Where in my subject, suppose my subject is history, and I know it's a very dry subject, many children don't like it. They question us sometimes, why do we need to learn history? Is it important in life? They think that maths and science is important and only maths and science should be taught. But this is not the point. This is not what I am discussing. I am discussing to make a difference in the life of a child, and not one child, at least the maximum number of children I have in my class. Understand one thing. For a student to relate to your subject, first he has to like you. A student has to like the teacher. Then he will relate to the subject. Okay? First, you have to be friendly. He has to like you. When I say friendly, don't cross the line between a teacher and a student. Keep the discipline, but you can still be friendly at the same time. So, when a student relates to the teacher, he relates to the subject, and then he starts learning the subject. How many of us in life has these experiences? Sometimes we don't like. I never liked maths because my maths teacher was very strict. She was a wonderful person otherwise when I came to know her, but she was so strict in class that I never liked maths. Until date, I feel it is too difficult for me to understand. It also may be that all of us are not made the same way. Some of us are very logical thinkers and some of us are very creative. Our brains are super wired differently. No? Even if there are two children in the house, parents must know that these two children are made differently. Their brains are different. So if one is very good in maths and science, the other one may be good in languages. So I'm going away from the topic, but we are coming back to it. So the student likes the teacher, the student then likes the subject, and then he learns the subject. Okay? Now we will see one by one point I will take, and I will teach you how to get maximum attention of students. You should be accessible more than your textbook. You should be there for them. They know, they should feel that this teacher is there for me always. Anytime I need something away from the textbook, this teacher is available for me. Let them know your personal side, some part of your personal side. So they not only know, okay, she is professionally so strict. No, but she has a personal side which is a very kind side. A teacher must show what she really is. We have two faces as teachers. One is very strict as a teacher, which is important. And one is a caring side. When a child is sick, you put your hand on the child and say, what is wrong? Do you want to go home? Do you need to see a doctor? That is the kinder side of a teacher. Whether it is history or a language, know more than the subject. Give them more information. Read about the topic. Like if anyone talks to me about Delhi, I can tell you so many things because I have visited the places. I can tell you about all the monuments there. And you get so excited telling children this that they feel they've actually gone to see it with you. Attraction is not possible without distraction. People, especially students, have a limited time perception. So if you're teaching for 30 minutes or 35 minutes, keep changing the topic in between, because 30 minutes they'll go to sleep. Teach for 15 minutes, change the topic, come back to the topic, because you have to shift their span of reasoning, because then they will fall asleep in the class. So you must know to do that. You should know the subject a lot more, I told you, more than what is in the textbook. You must know it and link the subject to their daily life. Then it has more meaning. Why is history important? Like suppose today I want to go to a country, a foreign country. I must know about the people. Because I cannot have a culture shock. I must know the language they speak, the currency. How do I convert my currency? I must know the places I live. What type of people are they? Are they friendly people? Are they going to loot me? Are they going to rob me there? I must read reviews about history. History is so important even when you're traveling. above all, you should love your student. Love the student so much that it's like a magic touch. You know that even when the child is out of school, he will always remember you. You know, teaching is a thankless job as it is. The child remembered the small touch you said. I remember I had a student and he had just come from, he had gone to the Hajj and he had come, a Muslim student, and he had shaved his head there. And when he came, all the boys were making fun of him. And I told him what happened. First, I didn't know. So he told me, ma'am, I went to the Hajj and came. So I told the children, there's nothing to make fun of him. He's gone to such a religious place. Be proud of him that he has gone there. It's not very easy. And ask him about it. We have to learn from him what is the Hajj about. Why do they go there? What is so important there? Learn something about it. And that boy always remembered me. Always. He always remembered. And I asked him once, I said, why? He said, because you protected me from the bullying what that was happening in class. There are small things that happen to children, you know. Sometimes children come to school, you don't know from what backgrounds they come. Did they have their breakfast in the morning? Why are they sleeping in your class? It's not that your class is boring. It may be they have not slept whole night. Something has happened in their house in the night and they've not been able to sleep. Did they have food last night? These things a teacher must know about their children. They must, it's not prying into their personal life. Sometimes you need to know what type of background do they come back from. Do they have parents? Are they orphans? Are they looked after by uncles and aunties? Do they get their proper meals? Can they have a bath and come? I've gone through so many experiences in life where children are, you know, their parents, guardians do not take care of them. So these are things for you to remember about. Every child is important. Every child is made by God. And whether you're a mother or not a mother, keep this in mind. If you're in the teaching profession, it's a job of passion. It's a job that you love. So do it keeping God in mind. Thank you. God bless you.